If exercise alone controlled weight, most people who work out regularly would already be lean. But that's not what we see. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Ben. Welcome to the Deep Ben, where we slow things down, take our time, and really look at how the body works. Here's today's question. If exercise isn't the main driver of metabolism, then what actually is? The short answer is this. Most of our metabolism comes from the energy our body burns at rest, not the energy we burn during exercise. Now, if you find this useful so far, follow the page. We take the time with ideas so they actually make sense. When it comes down to metabolism, this is where numbers help, because I think they correct some intuition. Roughly speaking, about 60 to 70%, that's right, more than half of the energy we burn each day comes from what our body uses just to stay alive. Physical activity usually contributes around 20 to 30%, and the remaining amount comes from the energy we use in processing and digesting the food we eat. So even if we don't exercise at all, most of our daily energy use is still happening quietly in the background. And this background burn is called resting energy expenditure. Put simply, is how much our energy our body uses just by existing, how much the energy for our brain, for our heart, for our kidneys, and so forth. Now, here's the part that matters most. Resting energy expenditure is strongly influenced by what our body is made of. Muscles by far use more energy than fat, even when we're doing nothing. Roughly, a kilogram of muscle burns 2 to 3 times more energy at rest, not activity, than a kilogram of fat. Fat still burns energy, but very much less, and muscles are metabolically much more demanding. So what does this mean for you? It means that if you have more muscle, your body automatically will burn more energy all day long, not just during workouts, all day. Now, this experience is common. We get on the treadmill, we run until our lungs are burning, our legs are heavy, sweat is pouring off us. And this is the worst part, when we look at the screen and it says maybe we burned 200 calories. What are we thinking? We'll look at it and say, this can't be right. It feels so much more effort than that. But unfortunately, it's right. Then it gets worse. We pick up a small chocolate bar and a candy bar, and then we read the label and it says 250 calories for that little bar. And this is where it feels deeply unfair. Like those 30 minutes of suffering on that treadmill has been wiped out by something you could eat in less than 2 minutes. Let's look at it another way. What this actually tells us is not that exercise is pointless, but that exercise is a small, important, but small, visible slice of a much bigger energy picture we know as metabolism. 200 calories of running feels hard because it's concentrated effort over a short period of time. But your body might be burning 1 to 2,000 calories across the entire day just by staying alive, just from this resting energy expenditure. It's doing it quietly without you feeling very much at all. Put simply, food calories are easy to consume very quickly and energy is burned slowly. Exercise burns calories in bursts. Resting energy expenditure, that background noise, burns calories continuously, minute by minute, hour by hour, all day and all night. And that's where I think the perspective matters. If most of our daily energy burn is happening in the background, then we should be focusing on improving that background burn, and that will have a much bigger long-term effect than chasing small calorie numbers on that treadmill screen. That's why focusing on calories burned during exercise often leads to frustration. And I can understand that. We've all been there. While changes that affect resting energy expenditure quietly add up without feeling dramatic. In real life, this is also why people can exercise consistently but still struggle to lose weight if the rest of the system isn't aligned. And this also explains why small changes to body composition can make weight control feel much easier without requiring that suffering. And that changes the whole equation. A higher resting energy expenditure, that background energy, raises the baseline number of calories your body uses just to function. That makes eating more forgiving, which is good. It makes weight regain less likely because we're burning more energy, and it makes fat loss easier to maintain because your body doesn't feel as threatened. One of the most reliable ways to do this is by building, increasing, and maintaining muscle mass in the body. This is why focusing on calorie burning during exercise often feels frustrating. Why? Because you're working on a small lever for a short window of time and then wondering why the results don't last. On the other hand, resistance exercises work differently. It doesn't just burn calories during the session. What it does, it helps build and preserve muscle, which nudges resting energy expenditure upwards and helps preventing it from drifting down over time. In real life, this explains a lot of what people experience. People who lose weight quickly without resistance training often lose muscle along the way. That's because you're eating a lot less, you're burning a lot more energy. When that happens, resting energy expenditure falls, and in turn, hunger tends to rise, the body quickly adapts or quietly adapts, and weight maintenance becomes harder, not because of weak willpower, but because the engine underneath, those muscles there, have changed. This isn't controversial science. It's pretty established physiological principle that's been shown repeatedly in metabolic research over decades. When researchers carefully measure energy use, the body composition, especially muscle mass, consistently shows up as the major driver of energy needs. Now, exercise is still good, cardio is still good, movement is good, but resistance exercises play a special role because it changes the background system. It doesn't just help you burn energy, it helps your body burn more energy by default. So when people ask, how do I boost my metabolism? The honest answer isn't a supplement, it's not a trick, it's slowly building and maintaining muscle, sleeping enough to support the recovery, and avoiding patterns that cause muscle loss over time. Put simply, the more muscle you have, the more energy your body burns just by being there. And that in turn makes eating more flexible and weight control easier, not harder. The key practical takeaway is this. If you want metabolism to work with you instead of against you, focus less on burning the calories and more on building and protecting muscle over time. So the question again, if exercise isn't the main driver of metabolism, what actually is? The answer is your resting energy expenditure, the energy you burn in the background, and muscle mass is one of the most powerful ways to influence it. Benefit factor today, 9 out of 10, I think this replaces a do more mindset with a build better one. This is Dr. Ben signing off. Stay well, stay curious, and keep bending those health truths until they finally make sense. I will see you again.